Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project and Magnetic Reversal News, bringing you a grand solar minimum update Tuesday, March 17th, 1 p.m. Mountain Time, 2020. You're looking at the new and improved models, which are showing heavy snow in the west, even in the northeast. But there is good news. Finally, spring starts Thursday, the earliest it's been in 124 years. As blizzard warnings are issued for 2 states and 20 counties. Keep calm. It's boom time. Late winter snow transitions to rain across New England today. An area of low pressure will skirt south of New England today, bringing light precipitation after some light snow fell. More coming, as 8 to 15 inches of snow is possible for Douglas and Glen Rock this week in southeastern Wyoming. Winter is not over. More than 12 inches of snow could fall in Arizona. In many regions, we're going to get to the model, so stick with us. Sloppy storm to bring rain and snow to Minnesota on Thursday. Say it ain't soda. And a winter storm with a massive boost for the Sierra snowpack as we are told to shelter in place and ski season has all but ended. The snow has not stopped falling. And here's what we mean.
Steve Roper, who lives just outside of Forest Hill, has been in the dark all day long.
PG&E's been up here, there's no power, and I don't expect it for about a week. They said they can't do anything until the snow comes out of the trees.
For now, he's digging his way out from a mountain of snow that has buried his cars and reached his rooftop, and he's one of the lucky ones.
All night long, trees just popping, you can hear them breaking.
Tree after tree after tree has landed on power lines, blocked roadways, and crushed rooftops.
The trees all thought it was spring and they started to bud and leaf, and with all the extra foliage, they just couldn't take the weight of the snow.
That snow leaving a big job for residents and for emergency services on a day when those services have been running nonstop.
Got a lot of power lines down. Believe it or not, we've had several trees into homes, breaking power lines, breaking the roof structure and stuff like that. So people trapped and that type of stuff.
The best advice this fire crew had to give: stay inside where it's safe and warm, and be patient as they catch up with a mountain of requests in this small mountain town.
Well, we certainly won't have a hard time staying inside, will we? As it is mandated for the next 15 days at least throughout the country, worldwide even. Snowfall analysis from the last 48 hours showing the heaviest snow in the Sierras, and that is where the video just came from, as well as the northwest of Wyoming picking up some good totals, and eastern Oregon. Take a look at those numbers. You can see some of that light snow in the northeast that has recently fallen, and this map in the next 48 hours is going to light up. And so let's check the models so you can follow us through. You can see heavy snow in Northern California occurring now and happening through the next 12 to 36 hours as the northern Sierras pick up what the southern Sierras just got. And then that snow moving into Arizona in the Four Corners right here will be all day Thursday. We're up to 16 inches is predicted for hundreds of square miles in central and southern Arizona. Take a look at that. And then the system moves across the upper Midwest. This is that snow they're calling for in southeastern Wyoming here, up to 16 inches. Nebraska as well is going to be the hardest hit because the entire state is going to get it. Then it moves through Minnesota, northwest Iowa, and Wisconsin there. Take a look. And then bringing some more snow later in the week to the Appalachians. So these systems are not stopping. We'll check the CMC model, which gives a differing opinion, but still pretty significant opinion. Colorado's being the hardest hit here, and then Nebraska also getting pretty much buried in 8 inches of snow for half the state. And then another system on the CMC is bringing heavy snow to the East Coast for the last week of March. We're going to be watching this closely. This could be some record totals if this comes to fruition, especially down here in West Virginia. Let's check out the Weather Ready Nation map. Flood watches remain in effect for Hawaii. Severe storms and heavy rain is expected for the southern plains. A powerful Kona low pressure system continues to produce widespread heavy rain and thunderstorms across the Hawaiian Islands, with flash flood watches remaining in effect. Meanwhile, a 2-day stretch of severe thunderstorms and heavy rain with flooding possible across the southern plains. There are some flood watches and warnings up here in North Texas, And look at the high wind warnings over in this region. And we have blizzard watches in southeastern Wyoming and over here in western Nebraska in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, about 22 counties at this point. So heads up for that heavy back end snow as this low moves up and east. It will be a beast, and we'll tell you the totals in a few days. Now let's talk about the Great Lakes water levels. It is not looking good. If you thought last year was a bad year, wait until you take a look at some of these projections. Now what we're looking at here is the entire extent of a popular beach called the Oak Street Beach in Chicago, which is getting smaller and smaller every year. All of Chicago has to fit on this little beach. That's all that's left. And it's only going to get worse. And we're going to show you some of the projections. Here's the Lake Superior water levels with projections, showing that Lake Superior should peak about a foot higher than it did last year. And so those are the peak levels there. You can see here we're going to be at record-breaking levels. The worst hit lake is Michigan and Huron, which appears to be several feet higher than ever before by June and July. So June and July is going to be an interesting time period for the Great Lakes, as all of the lakes here in May and June and July are going to be peaking above all-time records. Lake Ontario, Lake Erie, Lake St. Clair. There were problems last year here with it peaking. We may even get even higher this year. So if you're up in the Great Lakes region and you own property on the lakes, that's a big heads up. Water is coming, and it's going to be coming all the way until July. Now the UK weather, snow hit -3°C. Britain as mercury nosedives after the warmest day of the year. The meridional flow and now the breakdown of the polar vortex is going to wreak havoc over the next few weeks worldwide. It's going to be hot. It's going to snow. It will be a nightmare, as predicted. Seismic update. Boom! 6.1 in Tonga. Just blasting off. Probably at this depth there is no associated tsunami, but it's anyone's guess. That was a minor boomer. It was just following up a 5.0 at some depth here at the Blotoko region in Japan. So there could be a more significant superficial quake here in Japan in the coming hours. So there's a 12-hour watch now currently in Japan. And we've got a Tonga boomer at 6.1. Biggest quake of note. No other quakes of note worldwide. Worldwide volcano news update. No significant uptick in activity worldwide. All activity is normal. And there is nothing of note. Check the links below if you're interested. Now, North American retailers are likely to benefit from all this panic shopping. Why? Well, because for once, all the fresh produce is actually being sold instead of thrown out. We produce enough food to feed this planet 1.5 times over on any given day. And yet we throw out most of the food. And a large portion of the population is starving. So maybe the population will actually get healthier, but probably not. Mysterious Ice Age structure made from hundreds of mammoth bones discovered in Russia. Now, when I first looked at this, I was amazed. Take a look at the extent of this. I wonder if it blows up a little here. Nope. So you can get an idea here of the circular nature, and this wall around the outside is the original surface, and they've been digging down into this. And what they've discovered is an amazing circular structure here. Take a look at the people on it. We can get that one up. Okay, so here we are on this circular structure of mammoth bones, and they have no idea what this is for. There seems to be evidence of some fire lighting in the center, but no one was living in here. So it's my estimation that this may be one of the first kiva-type structures on Earth. It's over 20,000 years old, and it was one of the first gathering places of ancient man where they did their spiritual rituals, cosmology. It's anyone's guess. But a project of this scale, moving tens of thousands of mammoth bones and somehow creating a structure, the the imagination runs wild, and it's just an amazing breakthrough in the fact that we don't know anything about ancient man whatsoever. And what we do know is a made-up story, period. Now, depicting plasma, ancient mantis man petroglyph discovered in Iran. We're going to link you to the paper. Squatter man, mantis man, a prehistoric praying mantis petroglyph in Iran. And the mainstream is picking up what we've been putting down for years. It's electric, folks. And the 30% of the unexplained petroglyphs worldwide are completely explainable. Read the paper if you're interested. Now, here's the mantis glyph. Look familiar? Wait for it. Yes, Rex Bear, Leah, and I have taken pictures of glyphs like this all over the Four Corners region. We will continue to document their presence. Take a look down here in the bottom left. This is a very similar to what they're also depicting up here in these anthropomorphs. This is the same part of the display, different ways to depict it. This is an excellent panel showing here the changes in the plasma here. This guy has a tail and legs over to the right, a ball in his one hand. And so what we're seeing here is proof that ancient man in recent time saw amazing displays in heaven, which can be explained by lab experiments by Anthony Peratt at Los Alamos Labs, just 100 miles south of here. Back in the late 80s and 90s, they did experiments using plasma discharge. And what they found is that their experiments explained all of the unexplained petroglyphs worldwide. Experiment to the left, petroglyph to the right. And you can see Utah, Europe, Iran, Sardinia, everywhere. We found these worldwide. These glyphs are worldwide. The Rongo Rongo, Easter Island, on and on. All plasma discharge, proven by experiment in the laboratory, and now being picked up by the mainstream. Journal of Orthoptera Research, which is an insect journal of all things. And if you want to know about who initiated this work and all of the excellent data points that he has put together in the last few decades, check out Anthony Peratt's website, The Plasma Universe, at plasmauniverse.info. Now, if you're watching the skies, we have an amazing parade of planets in the coming days. If you're up before sunrise this week, you will be treated to a view of the parade of planets. The moon will move past Jupiter and Mars, then Saturn, and finally Mercury. For best viewing, you want to head outside 1 to 2 hours before sunrise. Look to the east or the southeast. Early Tuesday morning, the waning crescent moon will be visible with the 4 planets down and to the left. As the sky begins to brighten, Mercury will rise and both Saturn and Mars will begin to fade from view. Both the moon and Jupiter will remain visible as it gets lighter, and it will be a spiritual experience. Trust me. Hope you got something out of the video. The mainstream is picking up what we're putting down. Science is not dead. You just need to look for it in the right places. And if you're looking for dark energy or dark matter, well, you've hit a dead end. We love each and every one of you. Thanks to our one-time donors, all of our new Patreons. We have a lot to reveal, a lot coming this spring and summer. Start planting seeds. You have 15 days or more to self-quarantine. If you're nice, you'll stay home and you'll learn a new skill, like how to provide for your family. Be safe. That's boom.